This week, we're delighted to be joined by Diba Salam, founder and creative director of Studio DS, a dynamic London-based architectural studio with bureaus in Dubai and Bangkok. Welcome, Diba.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. And now, are you ready for your quickfire questions?
I am.
Okay, please start the clock. When did you know you wanted to be an architect?
I've always been very creative. I used to draw a lot of comic books and so forth, but I started drawing buildings when I was 6. I think I actually drew the headmistress's house, and she was so impressed, so that gave me a lot of confidence.
Your favourite building material and why?
You know, it depends on my mood and the type of project I'm working on at the time, but timber really is important for us because it's a renewable material. So long as it's sustainably sourced. I love bamboo, I really do. We do a lot of work in Southeast Asia, and when you see what people can do with bamboo, I'm into cooking at the moment, and I saw a program where a man was living in a bamboo house, but he was also using bamboo for cooking and cutlery and everything. So that was very impressive.
Do you prefer pencil or 3D?
I think both are really important, especially as we're moving towards a much more technologically advanced industry. But I have to say, pencil first. I'm very creative when I draw by hand.
What's your most useful tool?
My hands. I have so many tools which are important to me, but what are we without our hands, especially as architects?
The building you wished you had designed?
Do you know, I don't think I've ever looked at a building and said, I wish I did that. But I do say quite often these days that I wish there was more diversity represented in our city there's so many different architects we could using. But if I had to pick one, I would say Lloyd's of London by Richard Rogers. I really like that building. I used to carry the architecture magazine with me when I was a kid.
What's the most annoying thing in an architect's life?
I'm running my own practice, and there's a particular thing that is really hurting the profession. It's other architects and multidisciplinary practices designing for free. Speculative work is important. I appreciate that. It's an important part of our profession. However, we have to value our ideas.
Who is your hero or heroine?
I would say my father. He was an architect, and he came to the UK for his REBA qualifications, and he ended up running his own practice and his own construction company. He was very active in his community, and I think it's really important that men play a positive role in women's lives. His daughters are strong, independent women because he was so encouraging.
Your top tip for young architects?
Demand more for your education. The artistic side has to be supported by science, engineering and construction knowledge if we are to meet our REBA 2030 net zero carbon challenge. Also, don't only work for architects, work in the industry so that you can understand the full spectrum of the process. Your
greatest mistake, if you've actually made any?
Everyone makes mistakes, and it's how you bounce back from those mistakes and how you learn from them. A very early mistake I made was really knowing how to manage collaborations, and they don't always work, even though I do believe in collaborations. But you have to trust your instincts and act sooner rather than later when you know something's not right.
And finally, your greatest achievement?
I'd like to think I haven't actually achieved it yet, but so far, running your own practice, especially as a woman in a very male-dominated industry, staying true to my values was very important to me. It's very tough when you're running your own practice, but it's probably the most important thing to me, and I'm glad I have.
Thank you, Diba.